trying to bake life's cake without the right ingredients. We're trying to bake it so freelance that we don't understand what we're doing half the time. We're throwing this in the bowl, that in the bowl, that in the bowl, and it's exploding in our face, or it's coming out wrong, doesn't taste right. Because you guys are refusing to use your recipe book. Now there's people out here, I've seen the old school people do it all the time, where they can sit down and ask you, sugar, give me some of that honey, a couple of eggs, some flour and some sugar, and I can go ahead and bake you something. Well, that was then. This is now. A lot of us don't have access to baking like that. Don't have access to them recipes in our head. And so we might go in the kitchen and mess something up completely. But the old school people do it because at one point in time, they need a recipe book. They needed that guideline on how to throw this and that to make it taste like this and that. They need that instruction manual to get them in the right area in the kitchen with the right utensils. They needed someone to sit there and teach them and show them how to bake a cake, how to bake a pie, how to souffle. Every great chef has a recipe book. Now, they might not use it all the time. You see them on TV, like you watch these shows, The Next Great Chef or Hell's Kitchen or something like that, Chef Ramsay. They don't always put the book out there for you to see them using it because they have it here. In life, the Bible, books that are written spiritually, and even any book of knowledge is your recipe book. But we refuse to open those up and read them. We refuse to open them up and use them. And we're wondering why we're going through so many struggles. We're wondering why we're having such a hard time getting to greatness, getting to prosperity, getting to the top echelon of what life has for us. It's because we're cooking blindfolded. We're cooking without the right utensils. We're cooking without recipe books. You cannot ask a novice that has never cooked anything in their life to go in the kitchen and cook like someone's been doing it for 30 years. Unless they're a prodigy or some type of savant at what they do, it's not going to happen. That type of cooking comes from years and years of experience, years of trial and error. But you spiritually have a guideline and keys. You have a recipe book, a Bible, spiritual literature, books on prosperity financially, and soul type books, books to help you with health. You have these things in life that will help you get to where you have to go to, and they will show you different keys and ways of getting there. The problem is we don't open those books up. Oh sure, we'll watch somebody else do it on YouTube. We'll watch somebody else do it on Facebook. We'll watch somebody else do it on a TV show and say, man, I wish I can do that. You can. Anything in life you want to do is possible. But you have to have the right books, the right note cards, the right recipe book. Don't just sit there and use your Bible and all your literature and your books as table stands, as placemats on the table, as coasters, as something to write on. Those books have been placed in your life not by accident. God does things on purpose, never on accident. He does things for divine reasons. When I say the word divine, I think of divine as the ultimate holiness, the ultimate of the top of spiritual. Divine intervention, divine meaning, divine purpose. Divine is a godly word. So when you are blessed to have a divine purpose or divine meaning in your life, divine greatness, when you have been given a gift that you use, a gift that only you can do, that no one else can do, or a gift that maybe you might be in a certain sect of people that can do that, but you guys do it better than anybody else. That gift is a key to unlocking so many great things. But to be able to access the full potential of that, you have got to use your recipe book. You've got to open up that Bible. You've got to open up those devotionals. You've got to open up that book that talks about your health, about your mental status, about your physical. Use every aspect and tool that you are given to bring your greatness to fruition. You can't expect 120% if you're only given 10. As I said before, there's people waiting on your gift, people waiting on your skill, people waiting on your talent, people waiting on the words you have to say. Because God gave you those gifts to support and help people. In the midst of those, it says the word, if you delight your heart in God, he will give you your heartly desires. He already knows what you need. He knows what you want. But because you refuse to open up the recipe book of life, refuse to open up the recipe book of prosperity, the recipe book of love, you will not get to that point. You can get there and think you're there completely, and then things start to crumble. That's because you haven't baked the final cake. You're baking cupcakes. You haven't baked the big cake. You're baking cupcakes. It's like going to a wedding and sitting cupcakes down when you need a 7-tier cake. It's like that. You know how mad the bride and groom is going to be when they come into their wedding reception and they see cupcakes instead of the cake that they want, the cake they ordered? That's how life would do you. Inside your spirit and your soul is getting upset because it knows that you need the recipe book, the guideline of life. You need that word. You need those devotionals. You need certain things in your life to make all your greatness come to fruition, to push out things that are in you that you've been blessed with, to give to others that you can't because you're not reading the right manual. On today, I say to you, stop being a part-time chef and be a full-time cook. Open up that recipe book.